awkward yoga. And we're going to start the same way that we did before, simply with a child sitting back to your heels, leaning forward, bringing your hand down. The goal of this is simply to counteract some of what we do while we ride or run, but also inhale up. Here, especially in a Cobra, and I'm going to flip forward so you can see what we're doing a little bit, is to create a little bit of the mobility so that when we're moving forward, we're not as rigid. Inhale up in our movement. That's the goal. So we won't do this as long today because we're going to be doing some other poses where we're going to spend a little bit extra time with. This is just to get us going, to work on moving with our breath. Now we are going to come into one of my least favorite poses. It's called a frog pose, and it's one of my least favorite because it's just really difficult for me. And I'm going to move back a little bit. So I'll start with looking forward. My knees are going to get as wide as they can, and then I'm going to point my feet out to the side. So it looks like that. Okay, and now, so right off the bat, this is not comfortable. It's really pulling on the inside of my thighs. It's hurting in my glutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale, and like in a child pose, I am going to push very gently back. Inhale up and exhale back. Now, for some of you, this is going to be easy, particularly, more particularly women, not always, but more often, simply because of how our hips are shaped. And for some of you, you'll be able to come way farther back. You might be able to have your knees all the way open, and that's fine. This movement will still help a lot. So I'm just going to be going back and forth, and hopefully going back a little bit farther each time. So why don't you see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Why do elephants paint their toenails red? So they can hide in cherry trees. Why are elephants so wrinkly? Seriously, have you ever tried to iron an elephant? Okay, here we go. That's enough of that, because those get really hard to do and you just kind of want to move the other direction. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come into a downward dog. And in downward dog, I'm going to turn sideways, and we're going to come up, inhale, exhale, push down on your back heels. Inhale up, exhale. You can do one heel at a time. Inhale up, exhale down. Push away from the mat. Then what we'll do is we'll bring one knee forward, flip the foot around, drop your right knee. So I've brought forward my left knee, and I'm pushing my right knee back as far as is comfortable. I'm going to keep my hands up here. This is actually an upright pigeon, as opposed to the sleeping pigeon, which is down here. We're going to do the upright pigeon. I'll flip around here a little bit because of what we can do with our hips. All right, so here's how this works. We'll inhale, and on the exhale, I'm going to drop with my left knee forward. My left butt cheek is going to come down towards the mat. And then I'm going to inhale, And I'm going to exhale, bring my right hip to the mat. Inhale, center, left hip down. Inhale, center, right hip forward. And I'm going to keep doing this, just gently moving it. And you'll feel this in your glute, you'll feel this in your hip flexors in the front, which is why you move your knee back as far as you feel comfortable doing. There's no right or wrong recipe for how much your knee is bent. You don't want to twist it very much because then you're starting to torque your knee, and that's not the goal of this movement. The goal is your hips. One more time. Okay, curl your toes under, come back into a downward dog. There you go. And now bring your right knee forward. Flip that foot around. And scoot your left knee back as far as is comfortable. All right, same procedure. Inhale, exhale, bring your right butt cheek down. Exhale, center. Inhale, center, then exhale, bring your right, whatever, this is my left side, bring it forward. And back. And forward on the exhale. So the most important things, well, I shouldn't say the most important, the goals of us doing this yoga is to open up our hips and twist our spines in ways that create extra mobility, that counteract what we do as cyclists and runners, and help us move with our breathing. All right, now here comes the fun part. So we have done a cow pose. This is called a half Lord of the Fishes, and I don't exactly know why. It's an interesting name of a pose, and we're going to do the best we can with it. So in cow, you had your knees dropping. Here, I'm bringing that's my right foot into my hip again, and my left knee is up in the air. Now you can do the pose like this. If you can, bring your foot over. It's barely making it. Again, both hip bones are on the mat. The goal now is going to be to rotate and look behind you. If you can, take your right elbow on the inside and then turn. The challenge with this is not to use your elbow to push against your knee and really torque your spine. That's not what you want to do. That's going to be the temptation because I'm feeling it right now. We're going to inhale and just rotate your shoulders and just gently look behind you. Inhale, lift up your collarbones, and exhale and rotate. So I can start to feel a little bit of opening happening here. So I can come almost into this pose. This foot, should be down. This should be up. I have both butt cheeks are on the mat, but my left is really not very much. Inhaling and relaxing, exhaling and turning. All right, let's see what kind of devilry we can do on this side. All right, left foot comes into my left hip. Yeah, I'm not going to get both butt cheeks on the mat, that's for sure, not on this side. And then I'm taking my right foot, putting it on the mat. I'm going to bring it over here. I can get that far. And then I don't think my elbow is going to get quite to that spot. So what I think I will do is just kind of wrap around, and we're going to do the same idea. Inhale. I'm just going to have my hand on my knee for now because it was kind of sliding off. I think in a moment I'm going to be able to do this. All the motorcycle kids they're like little dirt bikes, and they're doing wheelies up and down the road here. Just inhale up, exhale back. Yeah, it's starting to loosen up. Not much. That's all we're doing is just rotating gently, looking behind me as best I can, trying to keep my collarbones up. All right, good. Now, the last pose, I'm just going to show you, then I'm going to stop because you can spend as much time here as you want. You're going to find a wall, and you're going to turn sideways to it. And you're going to lie on your back, and you're going to walk your feet up the wall, and then turn so that your hips are against the wall, and then your feet, so that you're like this. And from here, you can stay here as long as you want to, but this is such an amazing pose for recovery because all the blood is just starting to run through, and then you can stop and then come back. I'm going to see some weird footprints on the wall, aren't I? And we're just going to let our legs relax. So you can see that I'm definitely out of alignment. My knees are not right. That's why my hips are feeling so tight. So I need to get adjusted to visit my local chiropractor. All right. That is it. Recovery 4. Namaste. And thank you for joining us. See you later.